Hello, YouTube. So, the final show building up the Defenders series has now come out, and as I'm sure a lot of people have heard, or at least if they're watching this vlog, I don't know, people who don't care about the Defenders series have been keeping up with it for some reason. But yeah, as I'm sure most of you know, it's not that good. I moderately enjoyed it. So that's something. So yeah, what happens in this show? Well, after being away for years, I don't really remember how long, Danny Rand has now come back to where he grew up in order to reclaim his company. Why he waited for years? Because after a plane crash, which his family died in, then he goes and meets monks, who then train him to fight, because, monks aren't pacifists. That makes sense. So they trained him to fight. Why? Because he's a random kid that they just saw. Of course, they had to train this kid to fight because I don't know. So yeah, they train him to fight, and then they let him kill a dragon. I thought they were going to change that around and make it like a metaphorical way or something for this show, because the Defenders series tries and keeps things more realistic, but they never explain whether or not he actually fights a dragon. And we do see two red glowing eyes at one point, so I assume he actually fought a real dragon. So, yeah, that's really weird. Maybe he just fought a guy holding two red lights. I don't know why someone would be doing that when they're gonna fight, but I don't know, he might be. So, yeah, after doing that, he obtains the Iron Fist, which pretty much allows him to concentrate all of his chi into his fist, which also allows him to be able to deflect bullets with it. What? I mean, I've actually seen people concentrate all their chi into a certain part of their body. That is actually something that can be done. You don't need to kill a dragon for it, but yeah, that is something that can actually be done, and it doesn't mean that you can deflect bullets with your fist. Maybe it does when you kill a dragon for it. I can personally say I've never been through that experience, so I don't know, maybe it works a little bit differently that way. So, yeah, after all that, he returns home because, he wanted to? They never really say. Or at least I don't remember them saying, really. He might come back because he just wants to go back to his home and reclaim his company, which would be really random after being gone for, 15 years? I don't really remember how long, but yeah, he's been gone for quite a while, so why he randomly just decide one day, oh, hey, kind of want to go back now. Yeah, that really doesn't make any sense. I know they had to wait for the portal back to his own world to open up, but still, really weird. But yeah, eventually he does decide, yeah, I should probably go back to my own place, so yeah, he tries to reclaim his company. But shockingly, after 15 or so years, someone else is in charge. I know. Shocking, right? Someone else took over the company after the people who were in charge of the company died, and the only heir to it has been missing? Yeah, I know, that's really shocking that someone else took over, but Danny is outraged about this, and then we get to see the very fascinating adventures of trying to reclaim your company through legal ways. Yeah, that's quite a bit of this show, really. And then we get to see him fight the Handsome. The fights in this show aren't actually that good, though. Or at least, they're not done in any way that makes them really anything special. The biggest special thing about them is that Danny's hand glows. That's pretty much it. I would have liked a little bit more variance with the type of fighting, but it's pretty much just hitting, really. Hitting and kicking. Which I guess sort of what all fighting is, but yeah, still, it's not really done in a way that makes it unique from any of the other shows, or really any other type of generic fighting scenes. Really, it's just people fighting. You can go to a dojo and see that happen. Really, you can go to a dojo and see the incredible fight scenes down this show. Probably my biggest problem with that. I mean, there's nothing really wrong with the fight scenes, it's just that there's nothing that really makes them stand out. So yeah, Danny eventually does get his company back and then shows no interest in it. Why would he want his company back if he doesn't care? I really don't get that. Like, he wants it back so much that he will ignore it. Because he has to fight the hand. Why did he want it back? So, yeah, he gets it back for no real reason. And then gets kicked out after like a week or so because he's already running their profits into the ground. That is amazing. You were in charge of this place for like a week and you screwed it up. How do you do that? So, yeah, after that, he continues to ignore his company because, you know, it's not that big of a priority, even though he spent like half of the show trying to get back. And then he's focusing on him fighting Mao Gao, who, yes, is in the show as well. And she's cool. She's still cool. I still really enjoy her. Her involvement with the hand is kind of weird to me, though, because apparently one of the people that she used to work with, I think his name was Naboo or something, I forgot his name. That one guy in Daredevil Season 2 that was in charge of the hand. I forgot his name. I really don't remember it. I think it's Naboo or something, but that really doesn't sound like it's it, so I don't really remember. But yeah, that guy. Oh man, my main Luke Cage fell. I had a main Luke Cage up here and he just fell. Died. So, yeah. She was working with him, but apparently at no point did they ever discuss them actually being involved with the hand. They were involved with it, but apparently they worked in different aspects of it, in which case they didn't know who else was in the hand. I really don't get how that works, but apparently they never decided to talk about that ever. Yeah, okay, sure. So, yeah, she has now had a very big involvement with the hand and is now running a lot of it. So, yeah. Her and that guy did work in similar positions, but apparently just didn't really know that the other was in the hand. They were kind of stupid that way, so yeah, eventually Danny does defeat her and ties her up, but that's not where the show ends because it has like 2 more villains after this. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry, it has 3. Wait, no, it also has another one. Yeah, okay, it has 4 villains after this. Yep. So then we move on to... Sorry, my list fell. Bakito. Yeah, Bakito. A name that strikes terror. So yeah, Bakito, he's in charge of yet another part of the hand, but this part is better / worse as it tries to help out struggling kids, or at least in struggling families, or going through money problems usually. But it also tries to make them soldiers for a war. So in some ways it helps them, in others it makes them join a cult. Unknowingly. So, yeah. Pretty weird way of going about your business there, but yeah, he is bland. Really, this villain was very bland. I did not care a bit about this guy. I knew exactly where he was going, and so did the show, really, because they spend no time building this guy up. Like, from the second that we see him, then you're just like, yeah, you know that he's a bad guy. Then he leaves for a few episodes. Then when he comes back and gets more involvement, in like one episode, he's already a big villain trying to kill Danny. He went from being a guy trying to help him control his chi a little bit more to a guy trying to kill him in one episode. I would say that I'm happy that they don't dwell on this too much because it's so obvious as to what they're going to do with it, but then again, I would have liked a bit of build up to this, but for what it is, it's alright, and I'm glad that they didn't dwell on something that I knew was going to happen. So, yeah. He tries to kill Danny some more. And then we go on to the other villain, Harold. He is related to one of the other people who took control of the company that Danny's parents once owned. And he's been pretending that he was dead because he actually did die, but he came back to life. Don't know why he didn't reveal that, but yeah, apparently he's been doing very important things like hanging out in a penthouse for years. Why did he do that? I don't know, but yeah, he likes working through his son, I guess. But eventually his son has enough of him and kills him. And then he comes back to life. So yeah, apparently whenever he comes back to life, he's more bloodthirsty, and that's pretty much the biggest thing with him. And then yeah, he's also a villain because he's bloodthirsty now. And apparently he always wanted to kill Danny from the get-go, so yeah. I mean, he was working with Danny for a little bit to try and take down the Hand, but after that happened, then yeah, he's just like, screw Danny, and throws him to the police. So yeah, then Bakito just sort of knows their relation to Danny, and then they get involved, and yeah, they fight for some time, and then eventually they defeat him, but then they also got Harold to take care of, and they take care of him. I kind of forgot what happened. I think that he got arrested, or maybe got killed, I don't remember. So yeah, and then that's it. Danny is in charge of his company again. Ward, the son of Harold, is also in charge of the company, even though he suffered major mental breakdowns and also still has withdrawal problems. So yeah, he'll be a good person to put in charge of a whole company. Makes sense to me. And his daughter Joy is now a villain? Why she's a villain, I don't know. It's just that all of a sudden she hates Danny because I don't know. And she teams up with one of the guys from Shaolin who used to be a friend of Danny's, and that guy's name was Davos. Sounds like a very normal name. So yeah, he is also a villain now, and Madame Go is free because she's free. So that's it. And it really wasn't a good... This really wasn't a good addition to the Marvel Netflix series. I mean, it does have its moments. Like, as you go on, it does get a bit better, but really, when you get down to it, and once you're all said and done with it, it's really a pretty boring series. Like, I kind of waited for a bit to talk about it, because I waited for a bit to finish it. So, yeah, all in all, it's alright, really. It's just that I wish that they could have done something a little bit more fun with it, at least. I mean, it does try and be the most, well, good out of the show. Like, just out of all the shows, like, in terms of the moral standards of the characters and stuff, they are pretty much the most innocent, but really, that's kind of what makes it boring. I wanted the characters to have more flaws, and Danny's biggest flaw, anger issues. That's the flaws you're in for when you get to this show. Okay, well, they do get into more flaws with Ward's character, which is probably the reason why he's probably the most interesting out of the show, really. Danny here, though, is very boring, and really, there's not much to get attached to him. Even his acting isn't really that good compared to all the others in this show or in any of the other Marvel shows. So, yeah. That's not really a good thing for him there. Then there's Ward, who, like I said before, is probably the most interesting out of the show. We do get to go into his character a whole lot more than any of the others, and we do actually start to get to sympathize for him, and he is a pretty interesting character. And one that I thought would be a villain a lot, but in the end, they're just like, no, he's a good guy. I'm like, yeah, okay, but still, he seemed like he was going the villain route there. Which I guess it's kind of neat that they didn't go that route, but I don't know. So, then we also have Colleen, who never takes her sword out of her freaking scabbard. Seriously, it's not that hard to do this. You can do it every once in a while when people are attacking you with guns. Seriously, there are moments where people do attack her with guns, and guess what she does? Hits them with the scabbard. I mean, yeah, okay, that still hurts a lot, but you could end it so much easier if you do this. It's really not that hard. But yeah, I mean, she is still a good fighter, but that was really all that really stood out about her to me. I liked her more in the beginning, but as the show went on, she became much more boring to me, and it was really only in the first few episodes where she had a definitive personality to me. Then we have Joy. She was also boring to me. Like, I just really didn't like a lot of these girl characters being introduced on the show. They were just really boring. Like, Joy, she is upset that Danny didn't come back sooner. That is her character. Okay, I guess she also has some things going on with her brother, like some things with that, and she does care very passionately about her company, which she's put a lot of effort into, so it does make sense. And that is pretty much where we get to see most of her personality shine, but outside of that, really, there's nothing really to her. She becomes sort of a villain at the end, very randomly. Like, all of a sudden, she's working with Davos, and now they're gonna go attack Danny and do stuff to Danny. I don't know. They're gonna be villains now. Why is she a villain? So, yeah, she's a villain now. So, yeah, that's pretty much her story. I do kind of like the twist with her being the one who ends up being a villain instead of Ward, as I was really expecting him to be one. Maybe that's just because I watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so now I just expect anyone on Marvel shows named Ward to be villains. I don't know. But, yeah, I did like that little twist, but it was really not set up very well. So, yeah, that was a big problem. Then we got Kyle. He's in this show. Yeah, he's not important. But, yeah, I wanted to bring him up because he's there. Yep. So, then we also have Harold. A very threatening name, as you can tell. So, yeah, Harold, I actually did also find pretty interesting. He's along the same lines as Ward, so that's probably why I liked him more. And, yeah, he is actually a pretty good character, and I do like how he's set up. He is actually shown a very well-done character development here, and I did like him. It was just kind of in the end when he randomly switches against Danny that I didn't really like. I mean, sure, it was kind of already built up to, but really that was the biggest point where I'm just like, what? Why would you do that? Like, what was the point of even doing that? What, because he would control a little bit of your company? Ooh, that's a reason to throw him under the bus. So, yeah, that was really the biggest point where I didn't really like him. But outside that, he was actually a really good character, and I did like him a lot. So, yeah, then we have Mao Gao. Like I said before, she's still cool. She's still the same cool character that we got to know on Daredevil, so yeah, I do like her here. So then we got Bakuto. I still don't know. That's a really weird name. So yeah, Bakuto. Like I said before, he is bland. Moving on. I don't like him. So then we got Davos. He's also kind of bland. There is a bit more character add to him than there is with Bakuto, though, as we do actually get to know that he does have a little bit longer history with Danny, and him actually becoming a villain is set up a little bit better, as Danny has now pretty much left the ways that he was taught for like 15 years. So yeah, everything that went into his head 15 years, he just sort of doesn't care about that anymore. He doesn't care about those principles, except for when he's gonna go back at the end. Okay, I guess he kind of does still. So yeah, Davos, really, that's pretty much the biggest interesting thing with him. He knows Danny and they were friends for a while. He does get some funny moments, though, which is kind of nice. And, yeah, it does add a little bit more levity to the show. But then we get him being a villain because Danny won't kill. Pretty sure he had killed a lot of people in the show already, though. I mean, he's punching them with a hand that can break a door and deflect bullets. I'm pretty sure that when you punch someone in the face with that, yeah, I'm pretty sure that would at least break some part of their skull. In a way that would pretty much be very harmful to continue to live after that. Or at least very painful, so yeah, either way, they're suffering, so really, good job, Danny? You didn't kill? I don't get it either. So, yeah. That's pretty much it with Davos. He's alright. Nothing else really to add to him, it's just, he's okay. The reason why he became a villain, though, was kind of weak, and he's not really in the show that long, so we don't really get to see his character use the potential that I want him to be used, but he's still okay. Then we got Claire. She's in the show. She's in yet another Marvel Netflix show. I guess she's just gonna be the biggest connecting link between all of the Defenders. Like, do you think the Defenders are gonna have a We Know Claire Temple party, and that's how they all decide to form the Defenders? Because if so, that would be a really great way to set them up. Like, they don't meet because of the hand, they meet because they know Claire Temple. So, yeah, she's still a pretty good character here. I do actually like how they do reference Luke Cage a lot in a pretty subtle way. It's not really overdone, but if you do watch both of the shows, then you can definitely see a connection, and I really do like how she was done here. We do get to see that she's actually learning how to fight now. I feel like that's something that she might have wanted to start doing at the second superhero that she met, but yeah, apparently she waited until her fourth, because I don't know. So, yeah, she has finally decided, maybe I should go take some fighting classes, and that's pretty much her biggest involvement. She takes fighting classes and takes a plane with them to China. That's her biggest involvement here. But yeah, she is still a pretty good character, and I do enjoy her here. So, yeah, for Iron Fist, it's I mean, there's really nothing else to say about it, really. It's just an okay show. If you want to check it out for either you're a fan of the Defenders and you want to see where that goes and its connection to it, and you actually want Danny Rand to be introduced before you watch that show, then yeah, it's an alright show. Or even if you just want to watch it because you like Iron Fist, then yeah, check it out. But really, if you're not catching up with the Defender series, or if you just don't really have an interest in it, then yeah, you can probably skip it. It's really not that needed of a show to watch. It's just okay, really. Although, I did like the intro. Oh, and just so you know, Jessica Jones is still my favorite intro out of the Netflix series. And Luke Cage might be my last favorite. Then Daredevil in between, and then Iron Fist, and then Luke Cage. Yeah, that's my order. I have an order. So, Where does this show rank with all the others? Well, probably at the very bottom of the list, really. It's not really a good show, but it does have its moments, and I can't say I found it fairly entertaining. Like, it was a good show to turn on if you're bored or something, but, like, at least if you're gonna watch it again or something, just watch it when you're really bored or something. That's really the biggest recommendation I can give it for rewatchability, but yeah, if you're gonna watch it for at least once, if you want to see it for its connection to the Defenders, or if you just want to watch it, then give it a watch. It's alright. You'll maybe get something out of it. So, yeah, it's okay. That's pretty much it. Bye.